live and the exclusive and the overall coverage that you're going to watch only here on Times Now. We'll be getting you the factual and the accurate numbers here because it is a D-Day in the battle for Mumbai's crown. Mumbaikas are ready. They have already sealed the fate of the three very unusual alliances fighting for power and prestige in this BMC election.
And this is, of course, one of Asia's richest municipalities with a budget, an annual budget of almost 75,000 crores, more than that of states like Goa, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, as well as Tripura. And perhaps this is the reason why a hyper-local election is now making national headlines. The stage is also set for the counting of votes in Mumbai and 28 other municipal corporations across different parts of Maharashtra. We also are currently joined by our colleagues reporting from Mumbai, Swati Joshi, as well as Arunil Sadadekar. A very good morning to them. And of course, Mr. Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Mr. Krishna Hegde as well. We did, in fact, also talk about the exit polls yesterday, which projected a clean sweep for the Mahayuti alliance that includes the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena. But let me begin the day by going across to the national spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawala. Very good morning to you, Shehzad. I do remember what happened in 2017 when the BMC results were trickling in. And back then, it was a united Shiv Sena in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the Shiv Sena managed to get 84 seats out of 227. The BJP lagged behind just slightly with 82. This time, as per our exit poll projections, the alliance dynamics have changed completely. What we are projecting in our exit poll and what the poll of polls also show is that the BJP is turning out to be the runaway winner with almost 97 seats. The Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena has been left behind with about 35. So the BJP will, of course, be gunning for its own mayor in the BMC, Shehzad, if these results materialize, of course.
First of all, the exit polls have come, and in some time from now we will see the exact numbers. But having said that, this election was fought by the Mahayuti, and therefore by the end of today or by tomorrow, we will have a mayor who is from the Mahayuti, who is from the Hindu community, and who is from Marathi. So there is no difference of opinion. It will be a Hindu, a Marathi and a Mahayuti mayor that Mumbai will have. Point number one. Point number two, this entire election, it was about Deva Bhau, it was about Eknath Bhau versus Uddhav Mamu. And in the entire point of getting a particular vote bank, Uddhav ji has not spoken about the 25 years of malgovernance given to BMC by his party, the amount of corruption that they have done in the BMC. Not one speech of Uddhav Mamu was about the progress or development or the roadmap for Mumbai. On the other hand, the BJP Mahayuti alliance, whatever they have done in the last 10 years for Mumbai, whether it's the coastal road, whether it's the Atal Setu, whether it's the metro expansion, whether it's the redevelopment, the housing projects, whether it is now committing 17,000 crores for the entire pothole-free Mumbai, pollution-free Mumbai.
Yes, these are the promises that we have seen by different camps as far as these promises that have been made. But how does it actually materialize on ground? Well, the figures would be coming out in a short while from now, and we'll be looking out for that. But let me just go across to Swati there on ground, who's been covering the BMC election so far. Swati, after this gap that we're looking at, right from 2017 to now to 2026, of course, we're still awaiting when it comes to the confirmation on the final figure of the voter percentage there. But there has been, as the estimates that have been coming across, a significant drop in the voter percentage that has been recording this time.
Well, you know, voter apathy is something which is not new to a city like Mumbai. In fact, that is a consistent problem across urban areas during municipal elections. But I just want to quickly say, as far as the 8-year gap that you were talking about, a lot has changed in those 8 years. There has been a major split in parties like the Shiv Sena and the NCP. There are two factions in both those parties, and everybody, of course, taking claim as far as the legacy is concerned. In Shiv Sena, it's all about, it boils down ultimately to the legacy of Bal Thackeray. Well, during the assembly elections, the Shinde Sena did manage to perform well. But when it comes to the Mumbai zone, the popularity of the Shinde Sena or the Shinde camp is not that much if you compare it to the Thane bastion from where Eknath Shinde belongs to. So that's the reason why you may see a slump as far as the numbers of the Shinde Sena is concerned. In the Mumbai zone during the assembly elections as well, BJP performed really well. It swept the Mumbai zone in a way. Number 2 party was UBT and the Shinde Sena was on number 3. So those numbers are not surprising even if they are projections at the moment, because there's also consolidation, remember, of the non-Marathi voters. The pitch that Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, made when the Thakres were talking about Marathi pride and Marathi Asmita, the Chief Minister said कि Mumbai का mayor Hindu होगा, Mumbai का mayor Marathi होगा. So everybody understands how important that Marathi vote bank is. But it's not just about the Marathi vote bank, it's about the consolidation of the non-Marathi vote bank. And then you have the Muslim vote bank as well, that during the assembly elections voted for the Uddhav Thackeray faction. But will they continue to do that in BMC, or will there be a division, since there are other parties like the Samajwadi as well in fray? So a lot depends on the consolidation of the non-Marathi voters and how the Muslim community or the Muslim vote bank has voted as well.
All right, we're currently being joined by Tehseen Poonawalla. My colleague Rucha joins us from Mumbai as well, and also Mr. JVC Sriram, who's brought us that exit poll yesterday, which gave a runaway advantage to the Mahayuti alliance. And Amita, if you could just take us through the numbers that came in yesterday as far as the exit polls are concerned. Just a word before that, as far as the turnouts go, the final turnout that we are getting right now is about 52.3%. For the BMC election in Mumbai, which is approximately 3% lower than the 55% of 2017. And in all the BMC elections that took place for about 20 years before that, Amita, the turnouts never exceeded 50%. It went up to 55 in 2017. It now stands at 52.3.
Well, does it really, as far as is a reflection when it comes to urban centers, that we look like as far as such kind of, voter turnout or percentage that has been recorded? Well, remains to be seen exactly when it goes to in whose favor. But as you said, JVC exit poll, so let's get a better understanding on who will be Mumbai Cha Raja. Now, as far as Mahayuti is concerned, sweeping. When it comes to this alliance that seems to have formed, we are looking at unusual alliances, coming together, falling apart, friends turning foes, foes turning friend. I mean, this is all about politics at the end of the day that we are talking about. The Shiv Sena UBT faction, the MNS and the NCP SP faction that we are looking at, around 54 to 64 that we are looking at. As far as the projections of the Congress and the VBA alliance is concerned, 21 to 25, the others now amounting to nearly 6 to 9. So these seem to be the projections so far that is now been coming from JVC, and JVC would have a better understanding and the projections that we are looking at. But in the meantime, let me also connect with Rucha. Rucha, when we speak of the elections that have now completed, till yesterday evening, we were looking at a slew of controversies, right from even the first vote was cast, objections, bahanas, ink removal, all of these controversies had to be faced by the BMC, and of course, when it comes to the State Election Commission on that very first day itself.
Well, definitely yesterday we saw a lot of chaos at multiple places across Mumbai. Many political leaders, the opposition leaders, spoke about the quality of the ink, the low quality of ink, how easily it was being removed from the hands of the voters, and which was opening possibility for the duplicate voters, the bogus voters. But what we are also seeing, the trends in the exit poll, it is clear that the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Mahayuti is likely to go ahead and get a majority in the BMC polls, and it will be a big change for the Mumbai city, because for 30 years constantly the Mumbaikars have only experienced the Shiv Sena, the undivided Shiv Sena ruling the BMC. And currently I am at Worli Engineers Hub, and I am showing you what is going inside the counting center. This is at the G South of Mumbai, and the election staff is here, and there are 14 tables placed, and at a time counting of 2 wards will go underway, and all the preparations are done. The polling agents from all the political parties will also be present inside the counting centers, and it is a matter of a few hours to get a clear picture where the Mumbaikars whom they stand with. And for many years, for almost 3 decades, it was undivided Shiv Sena that has ruled the Mumbai city, but there were appeals, all sorts of appeals from the Thakres, the Marathi Manus factor, which was a big turning point especially in the they stand with, and for many years, for almost 3 decades, it was undivided Shiv Sena that has ruled the Mumbai city, but there were appeals, all sorts of appeals from the Thakres, the Marathi Manus factor, which was a big turning point especially in the last 4 to 5 days. The environment that we were seeing earlier, where it was only development was in talk, but right after Raj Thakre made that one speech, which kind of turned the Marathi voters in his favor. But yesterday, when we saw the Marathi voters turn out, it was slightly disappointing as expected. And overall, if we talk about the voter turnout, it was not even the half of the population. So today, it is just a matter of few hours to get a clear
52.93, that's the reported voter turnout as far as the BMC is concerned. Of course, there are 29 municipal corporations in the fray today. We'll get the results for all of that and we'll update you about the turnouts for those too. But let me go across to my colleague Arunil Sadadekar. Arunil, you've tracked the election build-up very closely indeed. Did you get the impression, especially over the last couple of weeks, that the Bijli Sadak Pani issues that are actually supposed to inform and dictate the build-up to any civic election have taken a backseat to identity politics?
Certainly, yes, Siddharth. Good morning to you. The maximum city certainly has the maximum issues. But when it comes to the voting percentage, it is always low. Now also 52 or mere 52.93%. Now coming to the, with respect, you asked me about the build-up to the election. Basically, the entire rhetoric was first set in by the BJP. The BJP attacked Uddhav Thackeray from the front foot, saying that Uddhav Thackeray has compromised on Hindutva. He is indulging in Muslim appeasement. The exit polls number clearly showcases that the BJP is doing well, but it also showcases that the Shinde Sena is also doing well. One important point that needs to be considered in this, Siddharth, is that just 4 days prior voting, there was a massive sabha of the Thakres that was held at the Shivaji Park. That was clearly a hit sabha. Whether that sabha is going to have any kind of an impact in the mindset of the Marathi Manus, which is completely segregated across Mumbai, that will again be a very important aspect to look into. How the Mamu factor is going to work in the BMC election. That is the Marathi Manus as well as the Muslim vote bank, whom the Muslims exactly have voted for. Have they voted for Thakres in those zones where they feel the Thakres are strong enough to defeat the BJP or the Shinde Sena? The BJP clearly is very strong in Mumbai. They are
the powers that have been, a Shiv Sena stronghold. But in the last, since so many years, since 2017, we're looking at a lot of changes that have happened on the ground. Will it reflect, and will it also, in a way, go with the people there and their mindset when they came out to cast their vote yesterday? That remains to be seen, because JVC, as far as these projections are concerned, what is your understanding so far? The poll of polls and your projections that we're now looking at, now barely crossing the 50% mark.
I think 53%, 52.9% is a pretty good turnout to say, because, SAR had not been done in Maharashtra. So you do not have the voters, who probably expired or multiple voter ID or for that matter relocated. So 53% in an urban area in a corporation election is not a bad figure. So I would say that if it has crossed 55, I would say that probably the BJP would have gone past, or Mahayuti would have gone past, say probably 150 mark. I think now the poll of polls and my figure would be closer to it. Because, there is an assumption that the entire Marathis are going to vote for UBT. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Probably SSUBT and MNS would poll around 50 to 55% of Marathis. At the same time, NDA or Mahayuti should be polling around 35 to 40% of Marathis. But let's not forget the Gujarati voters, the North Indian voters, the South Indian voters, who probably do not want to vote for UBT, because the kind of language which Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray had used against them, you can't expect those voters to probably back Uddhav Sena or for that matter, Raj Thackeray. In fact, I do not know the logic behind alienating a lot of voters, which has been time and again done by Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. In fact, Teshin Poonawalla, who's there in the panel now, would probably agree and probably endorse what I'm saying, because this is not the kind of politics which is going to cut through in this age, because probably 20 years back, it would have probably had a resonance. But today it would not have resonance. I do not know who's setting the narrative for Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. They are digging their own grave. Time and again, the negative politics is not going to favor Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. And more importantly, without Congress being in their alliance, and without Samajwadi Party, because they backed Abu Asmi last time. Now Muslim voters have got choice. They've got a choice to either go behind Congress Party or to Samajwadi Party, or for that matter NCP, or for that matter even MIM. So UBT has got a very small base with which they have to work on. Your reporter can say that, it's segmented. But the point here is that without getting backing of South Indian, North Indian, Gujarati, and probably the other kind of voters, I think Uddhav Thackeray is staring at a defeat. And that is what all the exit polls, including the poll of polls, would show. And on the contrary, Devendra Fadnavis comes across as a man who has talked about development. Because look at the narrative of Devendra Fadnavis and look at the narrative of the Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray. Devendra Fadnavis talks about Atal Setu. Devendra Fadnavis talks about slum redevelopment.
That's the point there, because will it actually prove to be a litmus test for the BJP? And as far as when it comes to the opposition is concerned, because this time it appears to be a little confusing as far as when it comes to these alliances that have now come together. Quite unusual there as the practice that is now being followed in this election there. But when we talk about, the seat-wide projections, what JVC so far have been talking about in the exit polls, so how each party seems to be faring, let's quickly take a look at the region-wide seat-sharing projections there, especially when it comes to all of the political parties in the fray. So as far as the BJP is concerned, we're looking at North in 42 seats. It's a difference between 27 to 28. Again, a majority here with the BJP. The Shiv Sena 7 to 8. The Shiv Sena UBT getting around 4 to 5. MNS 0. You can see actually when it comes to multiple zeros there for the MNS. So that means the issues that they have been trying to raise on the ground doesn't resonate with the people. Congress barely managing 2 to 3. Others another with 0. We're looking at Northwest. BJP again. Majority of the seats close to that, 19 to 21. Shiv Sena 8 to 9, Shiv Sena, UBT faction 7 to 8, close contest. MNS again here 0. Congress may be getting around 2. North Central 13 to 15 with the BJP in 38 seats that we're looking at. Shiv Sena at 6 to 8. Shiv Sena UBT faction 9 to 10. MNS again with the 0. 6 to 8 as far as the Congress is concerned. Northeast 15 to 17. We're looking at a total of 39 seats here. 4 to 5 going to Shiv Sena Shinde faction. 9 to 10 with the Shiv Sena UBT faction. That appears to be a better positioning there for the UBT. And MNS getting here 1 to 2. So opening as far as their khata is concerned. South Central, 37 seats, 9 to 11. That is where the BJP seems to be faring below as far as Shiv Sena UBT faction of 12 to 13, 6 to 7 with the Shinde Sena, 1 to 2 with MNS, and 5 to 6 with the Congress. That seems to be faring better. South, that we take a look as far as 14 to 16 is with the BJP with 32 seats. 1 probability as far as Shinde Sena is concerned, 11 to 12 with the UBT faction, 0 to 1 with MNS, and Congress are projected around 4. So that seems to be as far as when it comes to the seat-wide projection, Siddharth, that we are looking at.
Well, let's also go across to our guest. Mr. Krishna Hegde has been quite patient. Mr. Hegde, what's your reading, sir, of the exit poll projections? Not just the JVC exit poll, which of course gives an advantage to the Mahayuti alliance, but exit polls across the board have pretty much projected that the Mahayuti is set for a fairly comprehensive victory.
Siddharth, we have always been talking about Vikas and progress of Mumbai, progress of Maharashtra. So this is not the first election we are winning. We won in the Lok Sabha, we won in the Vidhan Sabha, we won in the local body election, and this will be the 4th election we are winning because our plank is development. The Mahayuti stands for development. The people of Mumbai and Maharashtra trust the Mahayuti to work for them. Secondly, you cannot hope to win an election, especially in Mumbai, if you are going to alienate the Uttar Bharatiyas, Gujaratis, and the South Indians and try to antagonize them and abuse them from the stage. When Maharashtrians have 6 parties to go to and vote, and the Muslims have another 6 parties to go and vote, and you think that by alienating huge communities, you are going to win an election, that is just not possible. Thirdly, the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray in 2017 had 82 corporators in the house, out of which 60 are with Eknath Shinde. And therefore, if you look at their actual figure, they have 22 corporators. And therefore, you know, the organization itself has become weak. It is the Mahayuti, which earlier BJP had 82, 84 corporators, and now Shindeji, 60 of the corporators, 84 corporators have come to Shindeji. So we have, you know, even the maximum corporators in the house, even if you take 2017 elections.
You can, you know, cite these numbers, but what if the Thackeray brothers and the Congress party, though they don't accept the mandate? वो बोल रहे हैं आपने इंक में पानी मिला दिया है. शहजाद पूनावाला, what was the strategy on how many booths was the plan to, you know, mix water with ink?
चलिए, कम से कम टाइम्स नाउ के स्टूडियो में भी अब ट्रिपल इंजन आ चुका है, अमिता, सिद्धार्थ और प्रणेश, और वैसे ही ट्रिपल इंजन
बॉम्बे में भी है. मेन इंजन हमारा उधर है, बॉम्बे में है. अरुणिल, स्वाति, वहां से भी वो पूरा बुलेट ट्रेन है ये.
अच्छा, चलिए, वैसे ट्रेन का जो सिंबल है राज ठाकरे जी, उनको 0 का 0 ही मिलने वाला है. देखिए प्रणेश जी, ऐसा है, जैसे ही ये इंक वाला विषय उठाने लगे तब मैं कंफर्म हो गया. जेवीसी का आई डिड नॉट नीड द एग्जिट पोल आल्सो, बिकॉज दिस वाज द फर्स्ट साइन कि दे हैव लॉस्ट द इलेक्शंस. कभी ये ईवीएम को दोष देते हैं, कभी एसआईआर को दोष देते हैं, वोटर लिस्ट को दोष देते हैं. अब जो इंक 2011 से यूज हो रहा है, and I have said it in previous places also, there is a Thackeray Tak. There's a Thackeray Tak platform where they were constantly saying कि देखो ink is coming out, ink is coming out. The ink is not coming out, first of all. Many people have tried it, but having said that, you cannot go and vote twice in any booth or ward. It is impossible. So having said that, this is all a Bahana brigade. And I think now many people are saying ठाकरे बंधु एक हो गए, पर फिर भी कुछ दशा दिशा बदली नहीं. अब पता नहीं, तहसीन पूनावाला की बातें सुन के लग रहा है पूनावाला ब्रदर्स एक ना हो जाए.
पूनावाला ब्रदर्स तो एक होते होते रह जाते हैं. तहसीन, what do you have to say?
Good morning, Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Shivaji, Jai Bhavani. The good news is that the Thackeray brothers and their politics for now will be over in Maharashtra, because whatever way you go, Maharashtra, this family has destroyed the politics of this family, and particularly Raj Thackeray ji. And I disagree with BJP on every angle. I hope BJP does not win, the Congress wins. But one thing I agree with what the BJP spokesperson said: the kind of media coverage that the Thackeray siblings and their kids got. You know, very often we accuse, there's an accusation by us liberals against you guys, right? We keep saying that you guys are biased, etc. I have never seen a more biased media than what I saw in Maharashtra. They gave such coverage to these people. It is terrible. There will be no chance of forming any alliance with these people. It is good that this people's politics for now is over. The only reason these two brothers...
Siddharth knows a thing or two about the media in Maharashtra. Siddharth, yes. You know, why? I think this was for entertainment value. Why do the Thackeray brothers get the kind of attention that they get?
And this is despite, Pranesh, that's a very interesting question indeed. Without Raj Thackeray having opened the account in the previous assembly elections, he had 1 MLA in 2019 and he had 0 MLAs in 2024. So that's a party that's actually fading into irrelevance. And there was one moment in the build-up to the 2024 Lok Sabha polls where Mr. Raj Thackeray actually altered his own MNS flag because he was warming up to the Bharatiya Janata Party at that point in time. That kind of an alliance or an understanding never materialized, and now he's back in the so-called Thackeray fold, uniting with Uddhav Thackeray, and a disproportionate amount of attention that's been given to the statement that he's made, especially in the light of the remarks that have been made by
I have a question for Swati. Swati, मैं सुबह एक tweet देख रहा था, एक journalist है, उन्होंने कहा है, before the results come, just going by the exit poll numbers, I want to put it out there, जो mood मैंने देखा ground पे, वो एग्जिट पोल्स में नहीं दिख रहा है. आपने क्या देखा? Have you been able to gauge the mood?
Well, you know, the areas that I visited or the people that I spoke to, Pranesh, and this is what I've been saying since yesterday, that they do believe, yes, Marathi Asmita, Marathi pride is very important, but ultimately Pranesh, whether you're a Maharashtrian, whether you're a non-Maharashtrian, you will both get stuck when waterlogging happens. You are both stuck and spend half of your lives on the roads of Mumbai that is packed with vehicles. So there are issues like overpacked trains, local trains that I, being a Mumbaiker now, cannot muster the courage to enter. So these are the basic issues that people are focusing on. And when you said, why Thackeray brothers get so much of bhav, that's the word I would like to use. It's because I think good that you talk about Marathi Asmita. People want to only hear that. When it comes to voting, they don't want to choose you as their leaders. And there was a time Mumbai was different, BJP was different. Now, of course, it has the kind of confidence based on the victories, back-to-back victories. BJP was dependent on Shiv Sena. High commands of almost all the political parties were on great terms with Bala Saheb Thackeray. And Shiv Sena was founded on these principles, isn't it? Protecting the Marathi Asmita, the Marathi pride. So it all happened back then and it resonated back then. Mumbai is changing, people are changing, the voters are changing, and so the Thackeray brothers also need to change their strategy, which is unfortunately not happening. So maybe only for entertainment, people listen, ek do reel dekh li, bahut acha laga.
Entertainment, that's what I said.
I have one more question because Tehseen was just mentioning that these people and these alliances that seems to be getting that disproportionate amount of attention there. What happens then when your grand alliance of MVA, then it comes together? Then what happens to these people? Because Anish, this is also something that do you believe would be confusing to the people there on ground? Kise vote de? NCP together or the NCP split faction?
Firstly, good morning and thank you for having me on the show today. I think the exit poll numbers are, of course, disheartening, but I've learned to take them with a pinch of salt ever since the Vidhan Sabha elections. I want to start out by saying that the NCP-SP was a firm believer in the Mahavikas Aghadi from its very inception. Pawar Sahib reiterated until the very end that the entire alliance should come together. Supriya Tai, Rohit Dada and others tried almost until the filing of nominations to ensure that the Mahavikas Aghadi would fight on a united front, not just in Mumbai but across Maharashtra. Unfortunately, that did not pan out. If the numbers hold as they do, you will sort of see the foregone conclusion that the MVA should have come together for these elections and fared much better. But on that note, I don't think that in local body elections that confusion exists, right? I think in the past as well, the BJP and the Shiv Sena have fought separately, the Congress and the NCP have fought separately. And in this election in particular, I think two cities told two very different stories. As a Mumbaikar, I was deeply disheartened that the manifestos of parties were not a part of the discussion, right? We were not talking about 10,000 free buses. We were not talking about the protection of mangroves. We were not talking about affordable housing. The BJP made this an entire election about no Khan will become the mayor of Mumbai, forgetting that we had Yusuf Meherli and others a long time ago. Of course, the pitch was also sort of made different on this side as well, so there's no denying that. In Pune, when the two NCPs came together, let me remind you, and in PCMC, the focus was on development. We managed to make a campaign based on whether or not the promise of free metro travel was a reality and whether or not the considerations of development and protecting the environment could be taken together. So I think all in all, a disheartening election in terms of the narratives that came out.
You've campaigned actively, vigorously on the ground. What was the mood?
Pranesh, again, I campaigned vigorously on the ground for the Vidhan Sabha elections, and I would have told you a very different story before the election results and after the election results. So once burned, twice shy.
No.
I think the mood always
are you
will
suggesting vote chori? Siddharth, वो बोल रहे हैं विधान सभा में भी ऐसा ही था, mood के against number आ जाता. Either JVC में कोई problem है, ECI में problem है. क्या problem किस में? JVC? Are you not, going by the mood? Do you have a set figure? Does someone tell you ये number देना है?
Nobody tells me, only the people tell me. Janata kya bol raha hai, that is what I'm going to disclose. So nobody dictates JVC. Let's understand, Pranesh. Because, see, I think the mood of the people is, I've already told you, somebody talks about development, and I think Swati keeps talking about the potholes, the problems which people face while monsoons. And Shiv Sena has been the party. Uddhav Thackeray has been ruling the BMC for 25 years. And Mumbai is an international city. It's a global city. It is a place where investors love to come. And a city of that kind should have development as the first mantra. But unfortunately, here is a politician or a brothers who talk about north, south, and who talk about Marathi pride, and that too in a local body election, Pranesh. Can you even imagine that? If it is even a assembly election, I can understand. In a local body election where the people's problems are the primary thing, and in that election, you talk about lungi, you talk about dhoti, you talk about, rasmalai. Is that the kind of narrative which is going to set into people? People can laugh.
Okay.
People can enjoy a joke.
Siddharth, the moment you uttered Rasmalai, Siddharth had his, hand up.
My only rejoinder there would be that it's not just the Thakres who are talking about identity politics in a civic election. The BJP has done that too. Mr. Fadnavis did talk about a Hindu Marathi mayor. So he also made it about identity to some extent. So one can't absolve the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Mahayuti either for playing the politics of identity in what is at the end of the day a Bijli Sadak Pani election, but it's never been that way when it comes to Mumbai.
Oh, Shehzad is saying something. Shehzad, what are you showing your finger with the permanent ink?
Why does he vote there? Yes.
Now I'm a voter. Now I'm a voter in Dadri, so I will be voting.
People
in
from the BJP can vote at multiple places. वो तो बोलते हैं opposition.
नहीं, अभी तो सिर्फ मेरे नाम में पूना है, मेरा वोट पुणे में नहीं है, तो एक पूना वाला ब्रदर का वोट पुणे में है, वो ही रहने दो. ऐसा है, देखिए प्रणेश भाई, why this Hindu Marathi assertion came about? It came about when Uddhav Mamu abused Devendra Fadnavis and said Fadnavis is not Hindu, his parents are not Hindu. And then when one of our leaders, Kripa Shankar Singh, said that in Meera Bhayandar we can have a Uttar Bharatiya as a mayor, he was asked a question. That time Uddhav Mamu and Raj Mamu reacted. But when Waris Pathan said Burkhewali will become in Mumbai, becoming a new Mamdani, that time Uddhav Mamu was silent. So we have asserted in the reaction to that. And by the way, you take out all the research. Siddharth is their research king, he is. You take out Uddhav's speeches, not even one speech on development. Whereas Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, I call him Shankar Mahadevan of development. He has rattled how much development we have done under Devendraji and Mr. Eknath Shinde. So we are for development. And see, we have Gen Z spokesperson of NCP, Sharad Pawar, Mr. Gawande, he's a good friend of mine, he's Gen Z. He does not know that the first time if anybody broke Maha Vikas Aghadi, it was Sharad Pawar. In Pune, there was Pune pattern where Sharad Pawar ji, BJP and Shiv Sena had come together to keep Congress out. So that time I think Gawande was in
school. No, but Anish will say I will only answer on, contemporary political developments. You can't ask me these things. You've called him Gen Z. Let's hear from him.
I think I admire that Shehzad has spoken of us as the chief breaker of the Mahavikas Aghadi. But I will remind the BJP that it is the BJP that was breaking up its own alliance, which the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde across municipal corporations across Maharashtra, and with the NCP Ajit Pawar, which it claims to be in close talks with both at the state and at the center. So again, like I said, the local body elections are ones where alliances form in one way or the other. We tried to keep the MVA together, but I don't think that worked particularly well in Mumbai or across other parts of the state. And the results will be out soon for us to know.
But is it all about, identity, or is it the fight for survival, Tehseen? Because as far as the Vipaksh and the opinion now seems to be coming across, looking at these, poll of polls and the JVC projections, sweeping majority that seems to be going, we'll be getting to know as far as the figures are concerned in a few minutes from now. Is the opposition already giving up before the numbers are out?
No, it's not giving up, but some of these reasons are a little different and should not have come in. The fight should have been, I agree with Anish, more cohesive. But then you please understand where I'm coming from. I can't go with a Raj Thakre. When I say I am talking about the national parties, okay, the guy will continuously hurt me, and JVC knows that, and he'll show in the reflect. And please understand, anything multiplied by zero, the answer will always be zero. So you cannot go with him. Once Uddhavji wanted to go with him, this alliance was naturally going to break. Secondly, with Ajit Dada, there is no doubt Ajit Dada is charismatic in Pune. He has certain amount of hold in Pune in PCMC. But the fact is Ajit Dada has gone with BJP. Now, just for local elections to come back, it's very difficult for the Congress to do it. And the BJP spokesperson is right, Anish. At that time, I was involved with the local politics in Pune. Ajit Dada, they were in an alliance, the NCP, in an alliance with Congress in the center state. They broke the alliance and did the Pune pattern with BJP and Shiv Sena only to keep the Congress out of PMC and form their own mayor. So it's happened in the past. So that's how Maharashtra politics is. Now the Congress will have to take a principled stand. What I think the Congress could have done better if they would have followed me is got some of the national leaders, maybe a Shashi Tharoor or Sachin Pilot, to campaign, gone along with Sharad Pawarji's NCP, and that could have been a good battle in Mumbai and Western Maharashtra.
See,
and
the effort that you put in saying and explaining these things, only if you could pick up the phone and speak to Rahul Gandhi, you know, person that you're very close to. But you see, Rahul Gandhi has been saying vote chori. The Thakre brothers have taken it a notch higher. वो बोल रहे हैं ink चोरी हो गया. What will Rahul Gandhi say here? शहजाद, राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा ले लिया ठाकरे ब्रदर्स ने. सीट का पता नहीं, बट नैरेटिव तो ले लिया है.
देखिए ऐसा है Pranesh, kal raat se they have started the entire attempt to discredit the elections, including some senior journalists. I don't want to name them and expose them. Then at 2 p.m. they will be in denial. 3 p.m. they will do dosharopan. 4 p.m. they will give dhamki, and 6 p.m. they will do press conference. So I have already got the program schedule from Rahul Gandhi's team. It is denial, dosharopan, dhamki, and press conference for today. Rahul Gandhi will now get Raj Thakre on one side and Uddhav Thakre on one side, and they will expose.
Okay. It has gone national because Pawan Khera, I mean, up to till about 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening yesterday, you had the Thakres and Congress leaders from within Mumbai responding to the entire ink controversy. But Pawan Khera made it national by putting out a tweet sometime around 8 o'clock last evening, saying that this raises serious questions about electoral integrity and so on and so forth.
Despite the state election commissioner coming out to give this clarification.
स्वाति, कल शाम को मैं एक शिवसेना उद्धव कैंप लीडर से बात कर रहा था. बड़े नेता हैं, टीवी पे भी आते हैं वो. उनसे मैंने पूछा कि फीडबैक क्या है. उन्होंने कहा एक पार्टी जो जब उनकी सरकार थी अपने एमएलएस को नहीं बचा सकी, वो क्या इलेक्शन जीतेगी.
नहीं, शिवसेना यूबीटी का जो ये असेसमेंट है, ये कौन उनको फीडबैक दे रहा है, सही फीडबैक मिल रहा है कि नहीं मिल रहा है, ये थोड़ा सा पहले देखना पड़ेगा कि कहां से ये रिसर्च और इनका सोर्स कौन है इसका. शिवसेना यूबीटी को एक बात ये भी समझनी पड़ेगी कि जो बार-बार अपना स्टैंड बदलते रहते हैं, उससे लोगों में एक कंफ्यूज्ड मैसेज जाता है. कभी राज ठाकरे के खिलाफ जहर उगलते हैं, कभी राज ठाकरे के साथ आ जाते हैं, कभी वो मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को वू करने की कोशिश करते हैं. दैट्स व्हेन पीपल स्टार्ट रिमाइंडिंग शिवसेना यूबीटी दैट व्हाट अबाउट योर हिंदुत्व आइडियोलॉजी, व्हाट अबाउट योर हिंदुत्व प्लान. दे स्टार्ट डिफाइनिंग हिंदुत्व कंप्लीटली डिफरेंटली कि बीजेपी का हिंदुत्व अलग है, हमारा हिंदुत्व अलग है. आई थिंक एवर सिंस the reins of the party were given in hands of Uddhav Thakre, there was a trust deficit in the voters as well. Okay. And then they saw the shifting stance, the departure from the ideology of the UBT. And that definitely created a confusion in the core vote bank of the UBT.
Right. 10 a.m. is when the voting starts, Amita. Let's quickly do a mood check of, you know, different political camps. Arunil is here with us, so is Rucha. Arunil, you've been speaking to people over the last, few days. As you do through the year, what are they saying? And what is the mood in party offices as we speak? थोड़ी देर में counting शुरू हो जाएगी.
Well, the BJP clearly is very, very buoyant, Pranesh. They are saying that they are going to reach the mark of 100 as well. The magic figure in BMC is 114. Now, coming to UBT Sena as well, Uddhav Thakre's Shiv Sena, Swati was making a point. What has been seen on the ground is since UBT Sena joined hands with the Congress party and with Sharad Pawar, there has been a shift with respect to their vote bank as well. The Marathi Manus, which stood behind Uddhav Thakre right through all the BMC elections, basically tried to go towards the BJP or towards the Shinde Sena primarily as well. This is not only in Mumbai but across Maharashtra as well. But this time, just 3 days prior elections, the Thakres made an emotional speech, emotional outreach to the Mumbaikars, that is the Marathi Manus in Mumbai. Whether that has reached the Marathi Manus, whether at least more than 50% of the Marathi voters are going to vote for the Thakres, that again will be very, very instrumental. And if that happens, I'm again saying if that happens, then there will be a dent for the Shinde Sena. The BJP will not get massively affected with respect to their vote share. or with respect to the number of seats they are going to gain. Anything that Uddhav Thackeray is expected to gain in Mumbai, not in Thane, not in other parts of Maharashtra, but in Mumbai, that will be at the expense of.
But if they don't get if they don't get the seats that they desire, Siddharth, and going by the commentary we've seen, Amita, wo manenge nahi. So what do we have? We'll have a situation where they will, say everything under the sun.
Absolutely. That's been a tried and tested strategy as far as the opposition is concerned.
No, so why don't you ask the BJP if they're prepared for, a post-result scenario?
And all of that, that seems to be the very narrative that they seem to be, setting just before the election and the counting that we are looking at. So, Shehzad, are you prepared on ground?
No, we are always prepared for every election. We take elections very seriously. We are not the ones who sit in Matoshri and just give interviews to certain channels and certain YouTubers and then think that we are going to win the election. So we are always on the ground. And look, the main important issue is that last 20-25 years, UBT had an opportunity to deliver on the ground. If you ask any UBT Sena leader कि Mumbai के लिए किया क्या, they have nothing to offer. And now my dear friend Gawande ji is sitting here. I want to ask him. He is a very inclusive personality. When they say things like lungi uthakar pungi bajayenge, and then he says that Sharad Pawar ji was trying to unite these forces. You want to unite such forces, sir? Sharad Pawar ji wants to unite such forces. In fact, today I thought Mr. Gawande will come out and at least like Tehsin, he will speak out in a very articulate voice that this kind of politics we will want to reject. But he is saying that we want to take such people together. And this is the downfall of the Mahavikas Aghadi. This is the downfall of Congress and NCP Sharad Pawar ji, that they want to go with such elements.
All right. Well, we will be doing that as far as this analysis is concerned, because right now we're looking at the time. It's 9:42. In about 15 minutes from now, approximately, as far as when it comes to the first figures that will start to arrive, the accurate numbers and all of, as far as the ground assessment, this is going to be a comprehensive coverage. So requesting all of our guests to continue to be with us. This is the biggest team on ground and in the studios. We're tracking as far as the BMC election results day.